Hello, friends. I am the man with no identity, the man formerly known as John Henderson.
Welcome to the Theater of Thrills!
We're continuing our story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Young Henry Jekyll is in college. In fact, he's graduating. Murder cum laude. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now present George Edwards in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. There are forces of good and evil in each one of us, but perhaps in few instances so clearly defined as in young Henry Jekyll. During his last year at college, he is instrumental in bringing about the moral downfall of one of his companions. And while he escapes detection, poor young Markham is caught and expelled. The boy is broken-hearted over this and bitterly reproaches Henry for the part he has played in his disgrace. High words follow, and Markham threatens to reveal the fact that it is the blameless head prefect, Henry Jekyll, who has really been the cause of his downfall. A cold fury possesses Henry, and his faith undergoes the peculiar transformation that only few have seen. Markham is terrified and backs away. Losing his balance, he falls headlong through the windows of the tower room they are in and crashes to his death on the courtyard below. Henry's paroxysm passes, and he lapses into unconsciousness. Next morning, he receives a visit from the headmaster.
Well, Jekyll, how are you this morning?
Much better, thank you, sir.
Stay in your study if you don't feel up to attending classes, my boy. You had a very nasty shock. So did we all, for that matter. Shocking business. Absolutely shocking.
I think I'll be all right, sir. As a matter of fact, I'd rather not be alone just now.
I can well understand that, my boy. Just as well to keep your mind off things, though. By the way, I don't suppose he gave you any inkling as to who the other boy was with him in Thorley Wood?
No, sir. Not a word, sir.
Well, he's taken the secret to the grave with him. One can only hope that this tragic affair will serve as a lesson to the one who's been at the bottom of all this unpleasant business in the senior school.
Oh, I'm certain it will be, sir. There'll be no more of it. I can promise you that, sir.
I'm sure I hope you are right. The whole thing has been most distressing, and there's bound to be some publicity over Markham's death. Very bad for the school. Very bad indeed.
What explanation are you giving, sir?
There was a meeting of the council to consider the case this morning. We've decided to say as little about the matter as possible. The boys were all called together after morning prayers and put on their honor to say nothing at all of what they knew of the affair of Thorley Wood. At the inquest, we shall endeavor to let it be thought that Markham was worried over his failure to pass exams. That's no more than the truth. He has been working very badly just recently.
And his parents, sir?
Oh, of course, nothing can be gained by distressing them any more than can be avoided. I shall give them the same explanation. Oh, by the way, Jekyll, if they should ask to see you, would you have a talk with them?
Me, sir?
You were the last person to see their son alive. I should think it very likely that they should want to ask you a few questions.
If it's absolutely necessary, sir.
Come along now, Jekyll. You're taking this thing very much to heart. You mustn't do that, you know. You've got your own future to consider. You sit for those exams in a few weeks' time. If you let this business prey on your mind, you'll be having a breakdown, and, well, you don't look at all well.
Oh, I'll be all right, sir.
Good. Then I'll tell Mr. Markham that you'll speak to him if he wishes it.
Yes, sir, I'll do anything I can, sir.
They tell me, Henry, that you and my son were the greatest friends.
Yes, Mr. Markham, we were. We went everywhere together. Oh, I shall miss him. I shall miss him very, very much.
Did he ever say anything to give you any indication that he contemplated taking his life?
Never, sir. I think that he might cause you and Mrs. Markham any worry.
Ah, yes, always the most thoughtful and tender of sons. We leaned on him too much, I fear. Perhaps we were at fault for letting him see how much we were wrapped up in all that he did. There was just nothing in our lives but him. And now...
Mr. Markham, if you only knew what I'd give to be able to help you.
Thank you. Thank you, my boy. But grief is a burden no one can carry for us. But I'm glad I've had this talk with you. At least I know what happened right at the end.
It was so sudden, I hadn't time to do anything. He just stood up on the window seat, and the next minute he was gone.
Yes, so your headmaster has told me. Well, perhaps someday we shall understand the reason for these things. But just at present it's a little difficult. But I'll go and get his things now. I want to get back home as soon as possible. Mrs. Markham isn't very strong. And the shock of David's death, well, perhaps... Oh, dear, who knows?
Mr. Markham, don't say that. Oh, not David's mother, too.
Death is only terrible when you're young, my dear boy. When you're old and tired, like we are.
Oh, please don't say that, sir.
No wonder you and David were friends. He was sensitive like you. He felt things too keenly. It's a great mistake, my boy. A great mistake.
Henry? Is that you, Henry?
Yes, where are you?
Up here in the loft. Oh, Henry, I thought you'd never come. The oil's burnt out in the lamp, and I've been that scared up here in this creepy old mill all by myself.
Well, I couldn't come before. I told you in my letter I might be late.
I never would have waited, only I've been that worried over you. What happened, Henry? Wasn't it awful about poor Mr. Markham? Bill's been that upset.
Now, listen, Hetty. If either you or Bill say so much as a single word about being in Fawley Wood with us that afternoon, you'll get yourselves into no end of trouble now. Do you understand?
How, Henry?
David Markham killed himself, and it was directly as a result of being found with Bill. If that comes out, you'll both have to go to the inquest and give evidence, and you'll get your photos in the papers. You'll never be able to hold your heads up in this town again.
Why, Henry, how wild you talk. Ben and me ain't likely to give the show away, but you can see that she's upset. She was fond of him, was Bill. She's talking of going away and getting work somewhere else.
Is she? Well, I think that's a very good idea. There isn't much chance for a girl like her in this little place.
That's what I always say. If it hadn't been for meeting you, Henry, we'd have both been gone long ago. But knowing you has helped.
Well, I won't be here much longer. I'll be going on to the university soon.
Won't I never see you no more after that? Henry, you won't forget me, will you?
Oh, of course I won't. But I won't be able to slip out to this old mill like I've been doing.
And I'll be jolly glad of that, too. Horrid, creepy place it is. If I hadn't have been so fond of you, Henry, you'd never have got me to come here. Funny what a girl will do when she's fond of a man, isn't it? We've never had no good times together. You know what I mean, like going places, seeing theatres and cafes and all that sort of thing.
Would you like that sort of thing, Hetty?
What do you think? Aren't I human, the same as everybody else?
Well, suppose I meet you sometime. Oh, a long way from here. Where we could go round together and not be afraid of being seen.
Oh, Henry, do you mean it?
Of course I do.
Where?
Oh, anywhere. London, if you like.
London? Oh, I'd love to go to London. I've been wanting to ever since I can remember. But I've always been too scared.
Oh, what of?
Oh, everything. A girl might have a terrible time in a big place like that.
Well, you'll have the time of your life. I'll meet you there and we'll do all the things you'd like best.
True? You mean it, Henry?
Of course I do.
Oh, but when?
Oh, after the school year finishes. You know I can't get away till then.
It's about a month, isn't it? Oh, that's a long time.
Well, there's no need for you to wait. I've got to work hard anyhow. I won't be able to see you very much. If you like, you can go there now and wait for me.
Henry, you ain't trying to get rid of me, are you?
Oh, you silly little thing. Whatever put that idea into your head?
I don't know, but you're bound to want to sometime. Your kind don't stick to girls like me for very long.
Oh, get along with you. I'm not nearly tired of you yet. It's just that things are going to be very difficult from now on. You've no idea how hard it was for me to get away tonight. If I got caught, I'd be expelled. Do you know that?
Would you really? And you come out just to see me?
Yes, so you see, it'd be a good thing if you were right away. I wouldn't be tempted then.
Do you really love me like that? Oh, Henry, I'd do anything for you.
Well, do as I ask you. Go to London. Look here. Here's some money. You'll only have to manage for a few weeks, and then I'll come to you, and we'll have the most wonderful time in the world.
Run your fingers through me hair the way you always do, Henry.
How soft it is. It curls round my fingers like little live things.
Do you have to go for a while?
Well, not for a little while. Rest your head back against my shoulder. There, that's right. How soft you are. How soft.
Are you sure there isn't any letter for me today?
I've told you, there's nothing at all.
You got the name right, Eddie Wilson?
Do you think I'm likely to forget it? Haven't you been pestering me for the last 3 weeks?
I'm sorry.
Oh, now, you're sure this is the address you told them?
Yes, the Charing Cross Post Office. This is it, ain't it?
That's right. Oh, well, better luck next time. Come again this afternoon.
Thank you, mister. I will.
What's the matter with her? Oh, you see dozens of them like that, waiting for letters from someone. Sometimes they get one, sometimes they don't. Looks down on the mouth, doesn't she? Pretty looking little thing, too. Comes from the country somewhere. London's full of them. They never learn.
Where's your references, my girl?
I haven't got any.
Then it's no use you coming here. We never have names on our books unless they have the best references.
Thank you. I didn't know.
I meet the young lady often by you. What you like? Oh, it's you, is it? Come back to the job, eh?
Yes, I am.
I thought you would. When do you want to start?
Any time you like.
Ah, that way, is it? How long since you ate?
Sometime yesterday.
Oh, well, go out into the kitchen, get yourself a meal, and then come into me. You know the terms?
Yes, I know. 3 meals and a bed and 5%.
Can you dance?
A little.
What kind of dances?
The barn dance and the polka.
Ah, this isn't the village green. Ever heard of the can-can?
Yeah, but I never seen it done.
You will. Say, what's your name?
Eddie Wilson.
Oh, we'll forget the second half. The girls here don't need more than one name. Hi, Kitty.
What's the matter?
Here's a new girl come to take Ruby's place.
Meanwhile, Henry's college days have come to an end, and we see him at home on his father's country estate.
Well, my boy, have you thought how you'd like to spend your holidays?
No, Father. It's been very pleasant down here.
But don't you find it rather quiet? I thought perhaps you'd like to take a run up to London for a while. I'm sure Mr. Utterson and Margaret would be glad to have you come and stay with them.
London? No, not London.
But why? There are all sorts of things you could find to do there. You've been working very hard at college. Why not have a little relaxation, such as theaters and things? Margaret's getting to be quite a young lady about town now. I'm sure she could show you around.
Margaret? How old is she now? 17, is it?
17 next month. Oh, she's a very lovely girl, Henry.
Yes, very lovely. She came to the inter-college sports. I was the cause of quite a bit of envy from the other fellow.
I'm sure she'll be disappointed if you don't go and stay at their place.
Oh, please, Father. I don't know why, but, well, I feel I can't go to London just now. The place depresses me. It's so vast, so full of human beings struggling and jostling one another. Well, it seems to chill me somehow. There's so much suffering there, so much unhappiness.
But you don't want to let these things get you down. Of course there's suffering and unhappiness and poverty and want. There always will be as long as human nature remains what it is.
That's it. Human nature. The noble and the base, the ugly and the beautiful. Oh, if only we could change it all.
My dear boy, you're not going to try and grapple with the universe, are you? Is this why you're going to take a course in science as well as medicine when you go to the university?
Oh, no, I don't flatter myself that much. Science attracts me because of the enormous, undreamed-of possibilities it has.
Possibilities, yes. But what kind? Everybody knows a lot of good has been done by science, but we owe the implements of modern war to the chemists working in the laboratories, no less than we do the most enlightened discoveries of our age.
Oh, that's because we don't know enough. We're just coming out of the jungle, Father. And we're still more than half beast. But someday man will free himself from the beast, and we'll see a new being arise. A man no longer tormented by the awful conflict of good and evil. A man who, for the first time in history, will be a fully developed human being.
And do you think science is going to do it?
Oh, well, I'm sure that without science it will be impossible. Other things will help, but science most of all.
These are very serious thoughts for a man as young as you, Henry. What made you turn to them?
Oh, disgust at myself, principally.
What?
Father, you understand me. You know me better than anyone else. I don't have to explain to you, but... oh, sometimes I hate myself so much that I can hardly endure the thought of going on living with a creature who can be so vile as I.
My boy, what's this you're saying? What can you have done? You're not yet 19 years of age.
Well, that's it. If I can do these things at 19, what mightn't I be capable of later on?
Oh, nonsense. You're run down, been working too hard, and you've got morbid. Then that affair of young Markham...
Oh, for pity's sake, don't mention him.
Why, what's the matter, Henry?
Don't you see? Oh, don't you see? I killed young Markham.
You what? For the love of reason, what's this madness you're talking about? Markham fell out of the top window of a tower. You saw him. You were standing near the door, several feet away.
I know, but I killed him just as surely as though I'd taken him in these two hands and thrust him through the window.
You don't know what you're saying. You're imagining all this.
Oh, if only I could persuade myself that. I'm haunted by it, night and day. His face, his voice, and the cry he gave as he fell. And then, his old father, that tragic face, the hopeless, broken voice. I'll carry those things round with me for the rest of my life.
Henry, my son, sit down here and tell me calmly what you mean. What I said is true. You were on the other side of the room when he fell.
Yes, I was. You can rest assured of that, Father. I didn't push him through the window. But it was because of me. And it was because of me that he was disgraced and expelled.
Young Markham expelled?
Yes, they hushed it up. But that's the reason he was in the tower room. He was more or less under detention.
I can't believe it. What did he do?
The things I told him to do. The things I took a hellish delight in watching him do. Oh, Father, what in heaven's name comes over me at times? Why did I want to destroy young Markham? Why did I urge him to respond to all the baser things in his nature and delight in seeing him turn into a kind of beast?
Henry, what's this you're telling me?
Oh, the truth, Father, the truth. And there was a girl called Hetty.
And this girl, this Hetty?
Well, after the trouble about Markham, I got into a panic. I persuaded her to go away, to London.
And that's where she is now?
Oh, I suppose so. I promised to write to her, to send her money. I didn't either.
I see.
So that's why I can't endure the thought of going there. I had some inquiries made. She's gone from her old address. No one knows where she is. But she's somewhere in that great city, alone, penniless. And I sent her there.
Well, no doubt we can have it traced and do something for her if it worries you. But she'll find some way of looking after herself. That kind of person always does.
But what kind of way?
Henry, you two sitting here in the dark for? Why don't you light the lamp?
Oh, please don't, Mother. No, not just yet.
Why, dear, what's the matter with you? You sound quite upset.
Well, there's nothing wrong. We've just been having a quiet talk together, that's all.
The afternoon mail's just come, and there's a letter from Margaret. She's wondering if you're coming up to London, Henry.
No, I'm not.
But...
Henry's a little overstrung after all those hard weeks of work for his examinations, Marion. I was going to suggest that we might go up to Scotland for a week or two. Sir Roland has offered me his shooting box several times. How would you like that, Henry?
Just the two of us?
If you like.
Oh, I'd like that. I'd like that better than anything else on earth.
But, Henry, what will Margaret think? She's been expecting you.
Oh, let her think what she likes. Nothing on earth is going to get me to London now.
Ooh, it's blowing a gale. Just as well we didn't go out fishing today, Henry, my boy. It's the worst of the coast round here. These storms blow up at a moment's notice.
What's that group of people doing down there on the sand? Why, they're watching something. By Jove, I believe there's a boat out there. Can you see it?
Where?
Just beyond that line of rocks. It's in trouble with the looks of it. A fishing boat from the village, I suppose.
Yes, you're right. Shall we go down? I don't suppose we can do anything to help, but one never knows.
Well, here's a path down the side of the cliff. I'll go first. Mind you don't slip.
Oh, Lord have mercy on us. But it's dashed to pieces they'll be on those cruel rocks.
What's wrong? The men out there in trouble?
Aye, that they be. Jeannie's good man here and two others. They've been battling against the storm this last 2 hours now, and not a bit of headway can they make.
Oh, it's gone, the sail's split. There's not to see them from the rocks.
Aye, it's arrested itself, it hasn't it, sunk?
Hey, but look, it's heading for them rocks. The wind's catching it, and the waves are dashing over it every minute.
Oh.
And if you can see them, they're clear to their mast. One's still got their rudder in his hand.
Oh, this is horrible. Can't anything be done to save those men?
No boat could live in that sea, Henry.
They'll be on those rocks in another few moments.
Oh, look.
Why, they're on them now. They're dashed to pieces, the poor devils, to die like that in sight of their very homes. Surely something can be done.
Nothing short of a miracle will save those poor fellows now.
Where are all the men? Can't someone take out a lifeline to them?
There's naught but old ones and bairns in the village today. There's a young and he'll be all war.
Oh, where's the lifeline? Have you got one long enough?
Henry, what are you thinking of?
Is that it over by the boat shed?
Aye, that's it. But you'll never think of swimming out in that sea.
Oh, bring it down. Hurry, hurry.
Henry, you can't.
Yes, I can. I've swum in seas like this before. Send those women away. I'm going to strip off my clothes.
No, Henry. Think what you're doing. You can't. You mustn't.
Father, this is a thing I've got to do. If I stand by and let them drown, oh, Father, can't you understand?
Yes, I think perhaps I do. God be with you, my son. God be with you.
Oh, sir, how can I ever thank you? And he's a grand young man nowhere today. What did the doctor say about him?
No bones broken, Jeannie. He's badly bruised and cut about, but it's a miracle how he escaped with so little hurt.
A miracle it is. It had been an angel of God come down from heavens to save my man, and the others with him. He couldn't have been more blessed in our eyes. I'll pray for him. That I will every blessed night of my life, and my parents too. Can I do anything to help? For boy, I could tend him while he's so poorly.
His mother and a friend are coming up from London tonight, thank you, Jeannie, but if you'll just pray for my boy, that would be a great thing. I'll tell him when he gets better. I think that he'll be glad to know. Yes. Very glad to know.